What's up guys, welcome to the video, and as promised here is the top 8 deck list and tournament recap for the LPG 7-star tournament. I actually have a very special guest with me today. I have KTM teammate Danny Hype.
What up guys?
So welcome to the channel again, although you have been here before. Not sure if you remember. But yeah, really excited to have you here, just to have a look at what we're doing in Europe, and just to see what differences there are in the formats, because I know you play in the US and Canada as well.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how different the metas are. Whenever I would travel to like locals in the States and stuff, I would always see a shift in what my locals plays and other people play, and then like it's always interesting to see how metas are different, because you never really know which meta is better until maybe like Nats, when like all the metas come together. So it'll be pretty cool to see how the Europeans play, if different from us over here.
Yeah, definitely learn from each other as well. I think I mean we see a lot of the US tournaments because they're all streamed, but in Europe we perhaps don't get as much of a spotlight. But yeah, I think it's good to just learn from each other. There are a lot of different play styles as well. So
for sure.
So right, getting into the tournament. So this was a tournament we had last weekend, and this is the largest best of 3 tournament that we've ever had in the UK, which wasn't an official Bandai tournament. There was another one slightly bigger, which was 63, but that was a best of 1, so I don't really know if you can count that. But yeah, good turnout, and this was also the first set 7 tournament we've had in the UK as well. So the last one was set 6, and the last European one, the Frankfurt prelims, that was just right at the end of set 6. So yeah, that was slightly unfortunate. Didn't get too many eyes on that because you guys were already playing set 7, and
yeah, that's always weird how that works. When if we get stuff before you and we're already playing like a set ahead of you guys, like how, and like whenever you play, that's the one thing I kind of disliked about how they pump out some products a little too fast, is the metas change like from tournament to tournament. It feels like it's rare that there isn't like new stuff out by the time the next like big event comes out. It feels like sometimes, but
yeah,
I guess it's kind of cool because it keeps things fresh. But again, sometimes you want to just play your deck for a little bit longer.
Yeah, sure. I want to be able to play Soul Striker again, but that's not an option anymore. So yeah, we're going to go through the representation for the whole tournament so far. So this is all 61 decks that were played, which is pretty diverse, I think.
Yeah,
you do.
I'm surprised so many Goku Blacks and Zamasus.
Yeah, so was I. I didn't expect there to be that many because I only saw one on the day. But when I got the list through, yeah, so I knew Toa would be pretty popular because I think Toa is just strong across the board.
Yeah, I've been playing Toa for quite some time now, and I've yet to run into a matchup where I felt like at a huge disadvantage. Even if I am at some sort of disadvantage, it didn't really feel like anything I couldn't overcome. So it does feel like it's just and it's weird because when I play it, it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything like super powerful. It's kind of like I'm just slowly winning the advantage war, and like eventually my boss monster just it doesn't feel like it's game ending, but it just feels like it just rips too many resources.
Yeah,
because too much pressure that you can't keep up.
Yeah, every turn just recurring, ripping 3 cards out.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, and also I think being able to play it well helps as well, because if you go too aggro with Toa, if you awaken too early, then you could run into trouble.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a matchup. Like I play like a bunch of different matchups differently, especially here at locals. We have other Toa players, or when the guys have played, because none of the guys play Toa, they all play like U6 stuff, and they're really aggro. And for me, it's still a hard match, but as Toa, but they've like destroyed other Toas, and beaten them, and it's kind of like trying to learn how Toa matches up against all these different ones is it's actually kind of tricky sometimes. Sometimes the deck just wins straight out, but there are decks where you have to play a certain way for her to actually pull through and win.
Yeah. So yeah, Goku Black and Zamasu. That's always been very popular in the UK at least, for whatever reason. And when the new stuff was announced, even before Set 7, so just the anniversary box, people were playing it and having success at local level. Does it see a lot of play in North America at the moment?
So at my local at least, I know we have one of our players. He likes to play that kind of stuff, and then I actually enjoyed it, and I kind of made my own build too. But I found like the most of the people that were playing this were just like Goku Black Zamasu lovers, opposed to wanting to try to make it competitive, or at least trying to, but didn't really work out too well for them. Like the version I tried was like I liked Goku Black, and for the new leader, it's unfortunate that it's a Goku Black on one side, but when you flip, it just goes to Zamasu.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to make that Goku Black chain, like one from set 2, work. So I was playing it with this leader and just like never awakening until I got my chain off. It was okay, but it was more like it wasn't anything that could be super competitive. But here I feel like it can pull off some wins, but against like the top decks just kind of do too much. So that's probably why it doesn't see as much play. For a casual deck, I can see it being pretty powerful, or even a surprise factor deck. But now that the set's been out for a while, I feel like it's probably less and less viable as a competitive deck, at least, and I haven't seen too much around here.
Yeah, and I think people are siding in just general board removal as well, just in case you come across this deck and you spam the blockers out.
Yeah,
and
it's not bad once you actually get going.
well.
It's actually pretty cool, but yeah, I feel like you'll just eventually lose out.
Yeah. Then we've got Pan and Janemba, which are just generally solid, if not outstanding decks.
Yeah, they're both. They both to me feel like another deck that doesn't do anything like super crazy. They're just consistent and like almost like Toa, but maybe a little bit a tier under Toa, where they're just overall good, and you'll always see a representation of them because a lot of people like those specific characters, and they can beat a lot of decks still, but then they still have their struggles with some decks. So I feel like Pan and Janemba will always be around. Like Pan's been around forever now.
Yeah, since it came out, but Pan's never been really sort of tier 1. I mean, it's sort of been on the fringes throughout. Yeah,
for sure.
I think the way it's described to me the most is that Pan is too fair.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that, especially like Chain Zeno and stuff. Like I was a big Chain Zeno player for the longest time, and but as the sets go on, I've been feeling Chain Zeno. People still complain about it, which I find weird, but Chain Zeno it just feels like as the sets go on, it just feels less and less powerful. Like, the whole effect is very powerful, but it just seems like not as good as it used to be, for sure.
Yeah, especially now, where most decks just sort of out advantage Pan anyway. So
yeah, like you can Chain Zeno somebody if there's so many things to draw back into, and there's so much draw power in this game that they can easily recover, and as long as they were smart about like their life and whatnot, it's easy to kind of just like, sure, you reset the game, but we're all both kind of on even keel here, and it's not so bad.
Yeah, or even if you're playing something like Kaba and then you champer the tricks of them, then you're back up to 7 instantly.
Oh yeah, man, that card's actually really good.
Yeah, they've got Kitku, which again I think sort of in the same fold as Pan and Janemba. Then we've got 4 Shenron Veggie and 2 Shenron Ramp. I did expect to see a bit more Shenron Ramp actually, because it just seems like an unfair deck.
I'm surprised there's more Shenron Veggies than there was Ramps. We don't really have anybody playing Shenron Veggies here. Well, we have Jordan Beard, who plays a version of his Shenron U6 stuff. Like, I'm not sure how much Veggies he actually uses, but it's pretty powerful. I'm assuming his version is really powerful. I'm not sure what these builds look like, but it hasn't really caught. I haven't seen it catch the ears of anybody else, or I haven't seen too many people playing it. But Jordan swears it's like one of the best decks in the format.
Yeah, I think it is probably a mixture between just the old Veggies and also the new U6 stuff. So having playing the double strike Khalifa off the Kaba, which is still pretty strong. Puts quite a lot of pressure on. But I did play against it. I feel like they do struggle with hand towards the end of the game.
I can see that.
Yep. And we've got another notable one, 4 prisons, which there was a lot of hype for prison.
Yeah, there were so much hype, and I remember seeing people posting in the forums how it's like, man, this deck's really powerful, this and this, and then like a big tournament happened and they all got bodied, and this was a big trap, this deck sucks. And I thought that was really funny. Like we didn't have anybody here where I playing it, so I never actually got to see it fully in action or anything, but I thought that was pretty funny. Although red's pretty powerful with all of its minus effects, so I'm surprised it didn't do as good. But maybe the way that they were playing it or the build that they were using,
in theory, red is really good. But I don't know. In practice, I think red generally loses or struggles with Toa.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I think if there's a lot of Toa, then red's not going to do very well. But if you take Toa out of the equation, then perhaps it will be a bit better. But still, I think prison generally is just a bit too slow, and if you leave denial up, there's not too much they can do.
Yeah, a lot of times people tell me like, oh yeah, I can just get to like these red decks, like even the ramp ones or whatever, when they go like, oh yeah, I want to have 6 energy, I can play Bobbity and do all this stuff. I'm like, when you have 6, what? Like, how are you not dead by that? Like, unless you're like ramping like Gogeta ramp or something like that. Like man, 6 energy is a long ways away, especially in the prison deck, because they don't actually they don't ramp, I'm pretty sure, right? It's just defense until they get their
they literally just wait the turns.
Yeah, so I can't imagine each turn charging like an energy for 6 energy, and then expecting to win.
And that's pretty much it. Other things are very, very varied. As you can see, there were 10 other decks present, so only one person played of each. Khalifa, Haragus.
Yeah. I actually really like that deck.
Yeah, I thought that would catch your eye.
Super. Wow, I'm surprised Super 17 Russell would.
Like Super 17. I played that on stream actually. I was really scared actually, because I played Red Gogeta, so I had a massive hand all the time. So I was worried that when they awakened, they would just wreck my hand.
Yeah. But, the one thing I'm surprised about is the Kaba. Only 2 Kabas. I was actually just use 6 stuff. I feel like it's like one of the only real aggro decks.
Yeah, there's 2 Kaba, there's 2 hit as well, so I would assume they're playing U6, and I reckon a couple of the Shenrons were playing U6 as well. Yeah. But it's surprising to see hit being chosen over Kaba.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I remember our other teammate Zuhair, he was doing the hit stuff first, and he just realized that Kaba you just draw a lot more, and there's just more advantages playing Kaba than there is to.
Yeah, definitely. So that was the full representation. Once moving to top 8, the picture is very different indeed. So top 8, we had 5 Toa, 1 Janemba, 1 Vegeta Baby. So out of 2 Vegeta Babies, one of them made it into top 8. Shout out to Silk. And 1 Shenron ramp. So Toa just extremely dominant this event.
Jeez, yeah.
There were 9 present and 5 of them made top 8. And another one was 9th as well, actually.
Oh wow. So yeah, I guess you can see Toa's dominance on our meta right now.
And then going to top 4, 3 Toa made it into top 4, so pretty crazy. I mean, I know Toa is strong. Is it as strong as it? Well, is this an over-representation, do you think, compared to North America?
I think it's as strong as its pilot, and like the opponents you're playing with Toa, they have to be really good to stand a chance. Because like if you just put 2 average players together, Toa will probably the deck will just win right out. But like a good player playing a different deck could definitely overcome like an average Toa player.
Sure.
Which I've like mentioned before with the guys here. Whenever they used to, whenever they talk about beating Toa, they're like, oh yeah, that's not. They don't worry about beating Toa. And I always I'm like, really, and like they're like, yeah, we have a fine time against it. They beat this, they beat Toa that, and then I play them and I give them like a run for their money, and then they realize, okay, never mind, this isn't as easy as we thought it was.
They're not playing against really you. That's why.
Yeah. But I can see in a tournament like this, especially if you had 9. Was it 9 of the 60? Especially
9 of 61, like,
yeah. Yeah, if the top players in your region are all kind of on the Toa, sometimes it feels like if you're just the top player in your region, almost whatever deck you're playing, as long as it's half what like capable of doing anything, you should be able to have a good showing.
Yeah, you should.
Everyone be like the guys maybe being on Toa if they were all like kind of the top players. Obviously, best players, best deck is probably gonna result in a top 8 like this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see later on that quite a few of them did play just the same build.
Okay.
But yeah, going into top 4, it was 3 Toa and 1 Janemba. I think in top 8 it was Vegeta against Janemba, Toa against Shenron, and then all Toa mirrors across there.
Yeah.
So. And unfortunately, we didn't get to play top 4 because the venue had to close. So they just split prizes. I know.
Been in a few of those.
Yeah, I know what the Nathan Mills, who did the Toa deck profile on my channel. Check that out if you haven't. He was up against Janemba, so he was a bit gutted that he didn't get to play.
Oh damn. Yeah, the few times that we've had to do that, where we've had to leave the venue, it was lucky that like our top 4 or whoever, we were all kind of local to each other, so we just decided like we'd just take the prizing and then we'd finish it at our locals.
Oh right, okay, yeah. No, unfortunately the I'm just trying to think who top 4. Yeah, no, we had two are from the north and 2 are from London, so
True.
Unless they met in the middle, yes. But yeah, they just did a prize split. I think everyone had to use their store credit on the day anyway. Okay. Well, they didn't have to use it on the day, but if you're not from London, then you weren't really going to come back down again. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we'll look at the top 8 lists, starting off with Silk's top 8 Vegeta Baby list. Making top cut yet again with Baby. So top 16 at Euros. He made top 16 in the Frankfurt prelims and top 8 here. He wasn't actually going to go to this event until about 2 days before, so I don't think much has changed from set 6 in terms of his build, to be honest.
True. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, like a good player with a deck that they're comfortable with, like this. If he's a Baby player, I can like it's easy to top in especially when you're really comfortable with a half decent deck and you're a good player. Like I was saying with those Toa players, I'm sure they're all good players, and if they chose to play something else, I'm sure the results would probably be pretty similar still, but with whatever deck they decide to play. So this shows that Silks is really consistent, and if he's a Baby player, that is like this is his bread and butter. Now,
I
all
three
tried to play
Baby, so yeah.
And like I like the deck and stuff, but I swear I have to play 4 and 4 of the 5-drop and 6-drop because I can never draw them. It's ridiculous.
Oh, this guy gets the nuts. I've seen him play games where he doesn't have it, and then he just rips it off the top, rips it off life, and it's like, yes, he has everything. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe ratios don't apply to him. Or maybe he's just got them nailed on.
That's pretty cool with the Gogeta, like the Goku, like the BR stuff in there. Haven't seen a build with that before.
Yeah, so he started playing this just before Frankfurt, and so in Frankfurt prelims we had I think 120 players, and yeah, he did really well. He got 3rd in Swiss with this, nice. And then unfortunately there was a mistake in top 16. And yeah, he wasn't able to go further, but he did really well. I think he blew out a lot of players with this. You sit on the big Baby, and then suddenly the Gogeta comes out, and just out of nowhere, and you lose. So
true. Yeah, no, it looks was good. I like it.
So yeah, might get deck profile of this. I'm not sure with him. Might not though. I think he's a bit bored of doing this similar deck profiles for me. So,
I can see that.
but yeah, guys, if you have any questions for Silk, then drop it in the comments. He'll get to it. Yeah. Silk, and then next up we have Nathan Hills with a top 8 Shenron ramp. Of course, this was played by Anthony Hernandez in Philly. It was Philly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the addition of Victory Strike.
I see a lot of people playing with the Super Balls, which I don't mind. But then you tap out like. It's like, I think the turns people usually, it's like Super Ball on. Actually, that's 6. Only 6 balls there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there is a Super Ball in there.
Okay, so there is a Super Ball then. Okay, so like,
yeah,
turn 1
sure
you do this,
Super
turn
Ball
2 you can Super Ball, then objection the next turn. So that's pretty. I love that Super Ball. When you get that off, it just feels nice. Like draw 4. What?
Yeah.
Radar. I still think Radar is one of the best cards for Wish Leaders.
Yeah, Super Ball is just at the bottom though.
Playing 2. I'm sure playing 2 is fine in this deck, but in my Dende deck, you have to play 4 no matter what. It was so good.
Yeah, well, I mean, you need to recur the revivals as well.
Yeah. And then use 4 Wish. And I think the one card that's like, I feel it's like underrated, or at least not noticed because of all the bombs, is the 5-drop Gogeta. That card is actually the nuts. It's like, obviously you have your bombs, like your game winners, but you can probably like win a game, or at least off the back of this Gogeta 5-drop. So it's like spin 2, draw 2, 25k body that your opponent can't really deal with, because even if they clear it off the board, you can just wish it back type deal, and kind of just keep doing that. And I feel like it just does so much advantage.
Yeah, there are just increasingly more cards that can't be KO'd. So having the Gogeta that spins is really helpful to just clear out problem cards.
Here's a card that I actually found when I played against, when I was Toa, and I played against one of a Shenjita player. For his big overarm, instead of like not this Fu, he was using Demigra on me, and Demigra is actually really powerful against Toa, because it's like he swings a triple. You'd have to awaken to take off the triple, depending what situation you're in. Obviously, if not, or just take the triple.
Yeah.
But he would swing with it, look at your hand, and rip 4. And if you're just waiting to set, like, to do your mirror chain on them, and you have all the pieces in your hand, and it just takes the 5-drops out or the 3-drops, and like, unless you draw it on your turn and you can't mirror him on his turn, and he also rips out, like, let's say your Banisher Fu, so you can't actually get rid of the Demigra. Demigra's a game ending against Toa players. The few times it was played on me, like, I felt so helpless afterwards. I was like, damn. So, and I had to find, like, I had to win another way instead of trying to use the mirror chain and stuff like that. It was actually pretty annoying.
Yeah, I played against a friend at locals, and he actually used to 7-drop Beerus on me. So he brought that out. So his rationale was you can bring out the Gogeta 7 and Kaioken, and then if you play Purunga, you bring out the Beerus as well. So you rip their hand, and then you just get rid of their board.
True. Yeah, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I mean, I guess Victory Strike is stronger. But you know, if you can't afford a Victory Strike, then you could try Beerus.
The Kaioken's a good addition too, like the 7-drop thing. The card's really pretty good.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Side deck here, he's got 2 King Piccolos, which I found interesting. For
card is that? I actually can't remember.
That's the one where you sack off 2 World Martial Art Tournament cards and play it. So it's from the Power Booster. So maybe he was afraid of Announcer or something.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting there.
And then he lost to Toa, I think, in the top 8. You said.
Yeah, he lost to Toa in top 8. which I think Toa generally has a decent matchup against this. It's not free, but I think it's
It's
favorable.
so weird because whenever I play this Toa Shenron matchup as the Toa player, like I can see like I've lost every time I've played, but only because I swear it's like I'm playing. I'm like, okay, I'm about to win. Oh, I get this. Oh, I win. Like, oh, my mirror chain, and then I win because he has like 3 cards left, and then it's like, oh, my mirrors are in my life. I guess I lose. Never mind. Game 2, same thing. Oh, mirrors in my life. I lose. And like, it's like every time I play that matchup, I'm about to win until I lose. I'm like, oh my god! And it's the first. I know I have an okay matchup again. Like, I know it's not like unfavorable in any sense, like super, but for some reason, whether it be luck or what, I personally cannot beat Shenjita with Toa.
Yeah, no, I have that as well. Whenever I play against Shenjita, I know people complain about Shenjita not being consistent sometimes, but just sort of prior to set 7, whenever I play Shenjita, I know for a fact if they have 5 energy, they have Gogeta in hand. They have the pieces. That's just
like everything. Like every time I play them, everything has worked out perfectly for them, and just one bad thing always keeps happening to me near the end, and I'm like, oh my god, I lose because of this, and then it mind boggles me that I can't seem to beat this deck, even though I know I can. But
yeah, it happens. But this is really strong. I think it's actually quite a cheap deck to make as well. Because I assume most people would have most of the cards already. Good deck. And next we're going to start onto the Toa build. So this is a Kikuon, but he's not playing any of the skillless cards. So just for the 4-star balls.
Yeah, this is how I was playing it at 1.2 with actually before the skills card came out. I was just using the 1-drop for the balls, and I used to love that because it's like turn 1 you could play Goku, grab your ball, pass, they swing, you ditch your ball to defend. You start your turn, grab the ball back, and it's just like infinite 5k protection, and it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and especially against U6, it's really good right now, right?
Oh yeah. Against U6, I'm always trying to defend every type of cheap attack I can, like efficiently, and doing the Goku 1-star, like being able to consistently block their 10k swings whenever they are. It's without nagging your hand. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The one card that I love that he only has 2 of is the Kai there, the 1-drop Kai. I play 3, and I have like my 4th on the side, but I swear I side that in, maybe because everybody here plays like U6 stuff, or just like uni things, but I love that Kai. I love having 4 of that Kai in my deck.
Yeah, it's really good. So I mean, it draws you a card as well, so you don't neg anything, and you can, especially against U6, you stop their attacks and you can combo it off just to protect against 10ks.
It's definitely one of my favorite cards. This Trunks, like I just the only reason I wasn't using it because I had my deck before, like when the set came out, but the only reason I wasn't using it before because I was actually too lazy to look for them before I went to the tournament and put them in my deck. So I just used my older version I had that had on me.
Time's choice.
But this Trunks here is actually the nuts. It's actually so good, and I remember Russell was like talking to me about it, convincing me to put it in, and I was like, yeah, that seems like a pretty good idea, and I just was too lazy to actually go look for the cards. But now that I have been playing with it, it's literally, it's so good. Yeah. I don't know if I played 4. I only played 2, but I don't know how you found room to fit 4, but yeah, I only played 2, and I really like it. Yeah, how does he fit 4? What the heck?
I guess he's only playing 3 of the Dark Absorption Mirror, and probably bigger. If you're playing the 1-drops, so not the 1-drops, the vanillas, you've got might have a Dimension Trunks in there as well.
True.
3 on the toes. Is that? I guess you can. They're flex spots. No.
I've been playing 6 Toas, but I've been going 4 too. I've been playing 4 of the 2-drop stealer, and then only 2 of the dark overwhelm one. I rarely use that dark overwhelm one, mainly because it doesn't trigger your time regulator, your Vegeta, but and like the 1 energy sometimes is like feels like steep to me. And there's usually never a 3-drop I want to steal anyways, so my card's usually just a nothing card for me. It's just that more targets for the actual mirror chain.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's playing Unexpected Turn. I actually don't like that card as much as when it first was released. I thought it was pretty good, but thinking about it, I actually don't. It doesn't seem as good to me.
Yeah, I get that. It's good against U6 in theory, but I think you just have other tools to deal with it, really. In the
pretty good.
Side deck, Force Ejection, must say.
Force Ejection, yeah. That one, I've had trouble with that one. It's like, it's good if they're going first, but it's not good if you go first.
Yeah, I guess if you win game 1, you can side them in.
Yeah.
And the Dimension Breaker Mirror as well, so I actually had to look at this up just now. So it's a Xeno Evolve 5, Double Strike and Auto. When it evolves into this card, if you have 5 or more in your warp, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to the warp. Then if you have 10 or more in your warp, you can choose one of your opponent's energy and send it to the warp.
Oh wow, that would be cool.
So I guess for that, with the Force Ejection, you can lock out your opponent slightly.
I know people are playing the other one, the other Mira. It's like a 5-drop triple strike, and when you evolve on top of something, it you warp 3 or something like that. I know that's a choice I've seen people do. If you can't have them, if you don't have the mirror chain anymore, just go on top of your mirror that's already out there.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
But for the most part, it looks pretty standard. But yeah, not bad at all.
And then next up, this is another Toa, another one with the skills variant. This made top 4. And this one does run the full package, so you've got the Super Saiyan Trunks, you've got Dimension Support Trunks in there as well.
Yeah, not bad. I like whenever I play mine, I usually only play 2. I only have played 2 balls and two Trunkses. I get pretty greedy because I'm always trying to make, like, I want so many different things in this deck. This deck's actually pretty tight when you actually get down to what some of the stuff you need. Yeah, see, he's playing 2 Trunkses here. Actually, this looks actually really similar to what I'm doing, except for I don't think I'm playing 3 balls or 3 vanillas.
Okay. You playing Dimension Support in yours as well?
Dimension, the one that searches. Oh, actually, maybe that. Oh no, I am. Actually, no, I am playing 3 of the vanillas because I was playing 3 of that Trunks to search more vanillas.
Yeah.
But that only comes up in sub matchups, to be honest. There's a lot of times where I actually just side out that whole package. But yeah, again, only 2 Kais. Man, 3 Kais at least. Come on. 3 negates too. I always find pretty scary. I like my 4 negates.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I guess the different playstyles in Europe. You know, as we saw, there wasn't too many U6 knocking around. So, and you know, I think well, there's Haru in the side, which when I was preparing for this, I just realised Haru is pretty much always going to go off. So, pretty useful card right now, I think, with Bloodlust being at 1.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. There's times where it's like sometimes it just feels like overkill. You know, like I could play this Haru, but I'm already winning. You know, it's like when I get to play Haru, it's like, wow, I'm winning even further now. It sucks to be you, buddy. Like the sometimes that top deck 2 part, like the mill 2, is actually pretty relevant. Sometimes it's pretty nice.
Oh yeah, especially in Toa, I guess.
Yeah.
And next up we have the Janemba.
A different look on the Janemba build.
Yep, blue yellow. He has 3 Kais.
There you go. There you go. Beautiful stuff.
So again,
I love these counterplay cards that he's playing.
Yeah. So again, Joe did a deck profile. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out. And yeah, I think blue yellow is definitely the way to go now, especially with Jumper and Frost being a thing.
What's the Frost do again? I actually don't remember.
The Frost is basically a Bloodlust.
Oh, okay.
I think it comes out in Rest as well. Does it come out in Rest? I'll need to check on that. But yeah, it basically negates the skill. It does cost 3, but if your life is 3 or less, you can untap 1 as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That doesn't get around Deflect, right? That's like a counterplay card, it looks like? Or...
Yeah.
That's some critics, yeah. But yeah, like, I know like some of these, like that Champa kind of, in a way, gets around Deflect. Because the guys use this on my mirror all the time, just to tap it, so I don't get to, like, especially in the Kaba deck, when you get to, you do the mirror chain on them, and then they Champa, so it rests your dude. They warp 3, but then they draw 2. It's like, oh. Feels like you lose a lot of value there.
Yeah, and yeah, just basically a lot of counterplays. I think Janemba seems to be a different type of deck now, whereas before you would combo out of everything. Now it's just stop your opponent from hurting you.
Yeah, it looks like he only has 3 of the pseudo super combos. Doesn't even play the red one anymore. So it's kind of just like counter. Again, he has like 4, 5, 6, 7 negates. So it's probably more about just stopping the attack altogether than letting the blue attack.
Yeah. So yeah, Frost is your opponent's card is played in rest mode with its skills negated for the duration of the turn. Then draw 1 card till you draw for it first, as well. Sorry. And then if your life is 3 or less, you can choose up to 1 of your blue or yellow energy and switch it to active mode.
This one made top. Oh yeah, but they split top 4, right? So he didn't play Toa.
No, he didn't play Toa.
I wonder how that matchup would have went.
Yeah, I think he was quietly optimistic. I think he felt like it wasn't an auto lose if he played it well, but his opponent disagrees, or his would-be opponent disagrees. So.
Well, I think the big thing, actually, not thinking about it, is like those Gohans are actually the nuts. So it's like, especially if you get to go first as Janemba, if your opponent, like if the Toa can't resolve a time regulator, it's so bad. Like against Janemba, like you need that time regulator out just to kind of negate, like kind of stop some of that mill that's going through.
Mm-hmm.
And then having the Champa too to kind of like rest the Mira so it doesn't get to like swing like an infinite amount of number into you or stuff like that.
And you're wide open as well, so that would do a similar thing.
Actually has a lot of good tools. That's actually pretty cool.
I mean, I feel like for Toa you would need to play a bit more aggro against Janemba. You can't just sit there and plus like against most other decks.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. And then moving into the last Toa build. So actually 3 of them in top 8 played the same deck, apart from the slight difference in the side for Ridge, who made top 4. And this is what I would call the standard Toa build, or the slightly more standard one without the skillless.
Yeah, this is like I used to play the commies, and I always sided my Black Massaians, but yeah, the commies were. I used to just love Kami, just because sometimes when boards get out of control and Toa can't actually deal with them, sometimes Kami was quite nice to have. I like the cards that you can just play, draw 1, and then they swing, and you pitch the Kami or whatever just to kind of for some defense. Yeah, it looks like I see they're not playing the Dark Overwhelm Toa. So I wonder if that's even better if they're playing just the 1-drop for more targets. And I never liked that other one either, so I rarely played it.
Yeah, I think.
What does that one search?
The Dark Overwhelm one basically just as you said, that there's just not many 3-drops you really want to take.
Yeah, especially if you have your Vegeta out and like not overwhelming because you want to do that. It just feels so neg.
Yeah. The other thing he mentioned was that Vegeta doesn't proc for the 3-drops.
Yeah. So that's actually a pretty good idea to take that out. And the 1-drop Toa, what does that search again?
So that searches any Mira or Marseille.
Okay.
So you
So
look
it's
at
not-
the top 7, I believe.
That's actually not, that's not bad. Maybe I'll switch to that too. I do have foils of them. Woo!
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I tested against Nathan quite extensively the night before. So he too just sits there, and I was like, attack. He's like, no, is that all you've got? I'm not gonna swing into you. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, actually that Toa put in a lot of work for him.
Yeah, I definitely love I can definitely see these two different types of Toas being better. The Dark of Rome one, like, ever. So that's pretty cool.
Yep, and Black Marseille 2 in the main and 2 in the side as well. So that's quite a lot there.
Yeah, that's actually a lot. I want to play more of these, but I can never like actually the Fu. So like that slot, the Fu and the other Marseille and the 2/5 drops. I've always wanted, like, I only play, sometimes I play 1/1 or 2/2, but I'd love to play more of them. It's just sometimes this deck is so tight. So maybe that's where they have going here. They don't need because like the Goku, like the skillless engine's okay, but you really only need that if you want to go like aggro on your opponent. So against like Shenjita and stuff like that stuff's awesome.
Yeah.
But against other decks where you don't really want to attack or care to attack, I never play the skill stuff where I just side them out. I care less if they're
I mean, the Fu and the Marseille, there's still 20k double strikes, so it's a bit of aggro there as well.
Yeah, there's definitely, like, even though these lists are like not crazy far off, it is still pretty far off to the point where it actually changes how the deck is played. So it's pretty cool.
Yep. So that's all the top 8 lists. Danny, do you have any closing remarks, or what are your impressions of well, I guess this is a UK meta, really.
Yeah, well, it looks like Toa is obviously really powerful. It would be nice to see. I always say this, but it's like the top players. Obviously, when you go to an event, everybody wants to win and play the best stuff. But it's really cool to see like some of the players, just show up with these different decks to try to beat everyone that's trying to get like those easy wins, if you will, like with the best decks in a sense.
Yeah.
But it's obviously when you're traveling and stuff like that, it's kind of unless you think of the ultimate spice, which it's hard to do with the internet these days because everyone gets to play test and see these big tournaments.
Oh right, yeah, no, they can't keep any spice secret on their team. Sandy's just gonna post it on the community page.
But like Toa's obviously very powerful, and if your best player playing it, then they're obviously gonna do really well.
Yeah, so I think the fact that it was so for top 8, I think it was £1,400 worth of credit being given away.
Damn, nice.
So the prize support was really good, and I think so that's why for this tournament it was just all business.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, when things like that's actually that last tournament I played in, because like I was just gonna play whatever, but then there was a gaming chair on the line, and I was talking to my friends, and he's like, "Bro, just play Toa. It's easily the best deck right now." And I was like, "Ugh, I guess, but I don't want to play Toa. Like, I'm actually getting to the point where I'm kind of sick of playing Toa." But it's like, "Bro, if you want to win, just play Toa. Who cares?" And I was like, "Fine." And then I scraped together my cards, like I said, like when I was there. That's why I didn't actually have like the full like the best build at the time. So I had the cards that I just had from my old Toa deck, and I played it, and like I won the event. And I was like, oh, thank God, I listened to him. Because like as you get like in the beginning, I kind of don't care. It's like I'm just playing for fun, and then as you get deeper into the tournament, you're realizing, oh shit, I can actually win this. Okay, never mind, try hard mode, and then you start taking things a lot more seriously. And luckily, I had like one of the better decks in the format to kind of push me the whole way. So
yeah. What did you do with that gaming chair in the end?
I actually have it. I'm actually going to put it together like right after this. It's been sitting in my room for like 2 weeks now, and like it's like this massive box that's just taking up a lot of portion of my room. So yeah, I'm probably just going to finally get to it and put it together today.
Cool, nice. Well, thank you for coming onto the channel, Danny. And yeah, go check out Danny's channel. I mean, I'm sure if you're watching this, you're probably subbed to him already. But you're doing your vlog that's being uploaded soon, right?
Yeah, we got. I'm gonna start posting out. Like I have a bunch of gameplay stuff and deck profiles that I kind of want to do. I kind of want to start getting out there consistent. I know as a team we're gonna start doing more KTM type things. So we do have a big announcement coming up in the next week or so about the team and in the future. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. And yeah, shout out to our sponsors over at like Ultimate Guard and TCG Center. And yeah, thanks for having me on another one of these.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a like on the video. Leave any questions and comments you have below. And remember to sub for more content. Sub to Danny as well if you haven't already. Links are in the description. And I will post the deck list links as well, actually. But you can find them on the LPG page, their links, and the Brotherhood who ran the tournament. All the links in the description. Check them out, give them a like, and all that good stuff. And that's it, guys. I will see you all next time.
See ya.